When planning flights to review for this channel, I do try and mix it up, but on occasion I do fly an airline that I've tried previously, such as today. I'm in Madrid and I'm about to hop on board a flight operated by Iberia. Why? Well, because I've never flown on the Airbus A340 before, and it's an aircraft I really want to try. And as a special treat for myself, today I'll be flying in business class. So let's go and check it out. Welcome to Blake Edgington Airborne. Let's get going. Terminal 4 here in Madrid is for me one of the most attractive in Europe and is of course home to Iberia. If like me you're flying in business class, the check-in desks are clearly marked and easy to find, and a benefit of business class flying is avoiding the queues with fast-track security. Ideally, I would have loved to have spent a couple of hours enjoying the terminal before my flight, but sadly, as my previous journey was late arriving, I was a little tight on time, so I skipped the shops and jumped on board the shuttle to Terminal 4 satellite where my aircraft was waiting. Of course, despite being tight on time, I wasn't going to miss the chance to visit the Iberia Lounge, which interestingly is accessed via the duty-free shop. So, first impressions. Wow, pretty much sums it up. As someone who generally flies in economy, it's a treat to relax in an airline lounge, and this was very impressive. The lounge has plenty of seating and PowerPoints, as well as a great selection of food and drink, which of course I made sure to try. The best part for me though had to be the views. So that's a quick tour around T4S, in particular the business class lounge operated by Iberia, and I really enjoyed my time in this lounge. Sadly though, I don't have a lot of time here because of a late arrival of my previous aircraft. Let's head on board an A340 and go to London. Regular viewers may have two questions right now. Firstly, where was the footage of the plane before takeoff? Well, sadly, I couldn't get a good view of it, so I must say thanks to Lucas from Onboard HD for the thumbnail picture. Secondly, why is the person who always flies economy in a posh seat? Well, frankly, after some rather uncomfortable flights recently, and yes, I'm talking to you, Iberia Express, I felt I deserved it. But believe me, this is a rare treat. I will be sitting at the back of the plane again soon. Before I show you around the aircraft though, let's see how much this experience cost. Iberia operate a number of flights to London daily, and you can check which aircraft's on your route during booking. I did intend to fly economy for this trip and originally paid €101 including seat selection, but the day before my flight I paid the additional €85 to upgrade. Was it worth the money? Let's find out. The Iberia A340-600 has 3 cabins. At the back is economy with a 242 layout and a seat pitch of around 31 inches. The seats look comfortable, but for a little extra space, you could choose one of the 23 premium economy seats found just behind the business cabin, which of course is where I spent my journey. Business class is laid out in a 1-2-1 configuration with direct aisle access at each seat. The seats in the centre of the cabin are good for couples, but I prefer a view and a little more privacy from a window seat. With so few passengers in this cabin, storage in the overhead lockers is not an issue, and reading lights are provided both at the seat and in the panel above your head. Noise cancelling headphones are given out for the in-flight entertainment, although they weren't the best quality I've ever tried, and the toilets for business class passengers were clean but didn't have anything particularly special about them. Unlike my usual economy flights, a full meal is provided in business class and menus were given out during boarding. As I don't eat fish, I went for the chicken main, and the whole meal was served on a single tray, which I suppose is to save time. The salad starter was the highlight for me and was very fresh. I also enjoyed the interesting combination of apricot and olive with my chicken, although it was a little dry as the sherry sauce advertised was nowhere to be seen. The meal was rounded off with cheese and yoghurt, followed by chocolates handed out by the crew, and as you can see, I definitely enjoyed the meal overall. Well, that's meal service over, and it was very nice, I must say. Now let's take a couple of minutes to look around the seat area. What could you expect if you ever travel on the Iberia A340? In business class with Iberia, seat selection is included in your fare, and if like me you prefer a true window seat, you'll want to select one of the even numbered rows. At each seat, no matter which you choose, you'll find a large fixed entertainment screen, which we'll take a closer look at soon. To the right of the screen is a coat hook, which for the modern business traveller is of course very useful. You'll also find this massive tray table which releases from the back of the seat in front and folds flat, as you can see here. The space, as you may have noticed during my meal, is plentiful, and there's certainly enough room for a full-size laptop. It can also be pushed further away from you, which means that even during the meal service you can get up and move around the cabin, which is a great feature. There are actually two places at this seat for literature. This smaller one here contains your safety card. With the table stowed, you have access to the massive amount of legroom provided at the seat. Space for your feet is provided when the seat is reclined, and underneath there is also room to stretch out during takeoff. Down here is where you'll also find the magazines provided by Iberia. This seat provides a couple of areas to keep personal items secure, such as here on the right hand side where I could keep my charger close by, and there's a small work surface just big enough for a notebook and a drink. Further down you'll find the very easy to use seat controls with several preset positions, and next to this is your entertainment controller for the in-flight entertainment. Although this was a quick journey today, on a long-haul flight it's very handy to have the ability to charge your devices, and universal power outlets as well as USB power is provided in business class. On the long-haul routes that this aircraft usually operates, it's nice to be able to kick back and enjoy some in-flight entertainment. In business class, the system is operated by this touchscreen remote, and the screen size and picture quality was good. As you would expect, there is a range of films to choose from, including a number of recent releases. You can also enjoy a selection of shorter programs, and Iberia scored bonus points with me for having Brooklyn Nine-Nine available. The system also provides access to useful seat information, and you can browse the buy on board gift selection if opening the magazine seems like too much effort. And as we're talking about entertainment, now is a good time to remind you that you can follow all of my travels and channel updates on social media. A special thanks of course goes to Laurie Davies and all of my Patreon supporters who directly contribute to the channel. Well, that's it. The captain has illuminated the fasten seatbelt signs, meaning we'll be landing in London shortly. Do stick around till the end of the video to find out what I thought of today's Iberia business class experience. For now, enjoy the landing. So, welcome to London Heathrow after that flight with Iberia. This is the part of the video that I'll share with you my final thoughts on today's trip. Kicking things off in Madrid. Now, I didn't have a massive amount of time in Madrid because it took me a while to get off my inbound aircraft, so I did kind of rush through the terminal, but I did manage to get a chance to visit the Iberia Business Class Lounge in Terminal 4S, and I really enjoyed it there. I only had about 20 minutes in the lounge, but I found it to be a really relaxing environment, plenty of seating, and the food selection was quite good as well, with hot and cold items. Then we come to the flight. Now, this is my first time on the A340, so first of all, that was great. It's another aircraft ticked off my list, and a wide-body aircraft on a short European route is always something special, especially when you are in business class. Now, I won't be flying business class all the time. This channel is all about economy reviews, but it was really enjoyable today, I must say. First of all, the cabin crew, they did surprise me. Now, ordinarily when I've flown on Spanish airlines, I've found the crew to be a little bit indifferent and going through the motions. That may be down to the language barrier. But this crew today were incredibly attentive, very friendly, really talkative as well, so it was great to see. Now, the seat, of course, on a short 2-hour European flight was a bit of a surprise. Of course, normally you get a small Airbus aircraft with very tight legroom. This, well, it was a long-haul plane, so I had the fully flat bed. The space was fantastic for me personally, and also the service that I had on board the aircraft was really nice. The crew, as I said before, very attentive, good attention to detail, and the food was very tasty, although I would say I was missing my sauce a little bit. If I did have a criticism of the onboard experience on this plane, it's the fact that I personally couldn't find any individual air vents. Now, it was okay today, but I can imagine on a longer flight with the temperature turned right up, it'd be pretty uncomfortable, so that's something to bear in mind. But overall, would I choose to fly this aircraft again? Well, if the circumstances were right, yeah, I definitely would actually. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Please do leave me some feedback in the comments section below, good or bad, I read them all. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and of course, if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a future video. And of course, as always, take care.